everyone, welcome to the speedrun. I'm just going to start. Let's go. Starting now. I have some amps that are already on the guitars and bass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to group the guitars left and right into a group, and this works as a bus. I'm going to call this guitar bus. I'm going to make this guitar left and guitar right. We're going to throw an API 2500 on them, and we're going to listen. Heavily compressing it. I'm going to just compress it as heavy as I can. I just want to do this real quick. Alright, it's good enough for me. Let's move on. I might add an EQ on those later. Same thing with the bass. I'm going to group them. We're just going as fast as I can if I only have 5 minutes to do this. Bass bus. And we're going to do the same thing. There's an API, but it's going to be in mono. Because the bass isn't left and right. It's just 2 mono tracks. I'm going to compress it like crazy again as well. This needs a BOD. So a BOD is a distortion pedal. I'm going to put it here on the low bass. Just turn up the lows a little bit. And that should be good. And then for the high bass, I'm using BG bass. Joel Wanasek made this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down the low. There's going to be no low bass. And then I'm going to go into the highs and crush the highs. And we're going to turn that up. So now we have a low bass and a high bass mixed together. So you get a kind of cool sound. One thing I always do is grab an EQ and on the high bass get rid of as much low as I can, but you keep a little bit in there because you want it to sonically link together. It needs a little bit of bass to link to the low bass. If you take out too much, it just becomes noise. It doesn't mesh as well. Just enough to actually link them together. There you go. I'm going to turn on the high bass a little bit. Let's continue because we're running out of time. Kicks. Group them. And we call them kick bus. And what are we doing? We're going to do a CLA 76. I'm going to put it on the kick bus and turn that up. And then we're going to go use Transify. I believe I'm using that. And we're going to create some kick clickiness. Let's make this kick click. You definitely don't want to turn it up all the way because it starts to hurt your ears in the car. So that's been good. I've been doing that. And then for the kick out, I've been doing a dynamic EQ. Just trying to get a little bit of that bass. Sounds good to me. That's what I've been doing these days. One thing that might actually help me is I've been putting saturation a little bit on things. Maybe we could put like a little radiator. This might be a bad move, but let's put it on the kick out. You hear what I'm doing? I'm adding a little bit of distortion. This is starting to hit, but it's making a little bit of noise. So what I'm going to do is just clean it up. You can hear how it's very noisy. Now we're cleaning it up. Great. So that sounds great. Overheads. I don't have any hi-hats in this song. What I'm going to do is put a CLA 76, but a stereo one because it's in stereo. And we're just going to push it. I don't like the sound of a super compressed. It sounds better when it's less compressed. Sounds good. Let's check out the toms. Probably CLA 76. And I've been using a Transify on toms just to get rid of some of the clickiness. So like going minus 10, minus whatever. Doesn't sound powerful enough. That's what compressors do for me. I feel like when I put them on there, it just feels like it gives it some body, some power. And then I can turn it down as needed from the fader. Still sounds like it needs something. Sounds alright. Like maybe I do put a radiator on there. Like a little radiator. Yeah, now it sounds like it has this bass aspect though. It's making a lot of noise in the bass field. I'm gonna do this. Same idea. You can tell it's singing right here. What we did. Can't really hear it. Look how it fits now. That's pretty much it. And what I'll do is I'll put all the drums into a drum bus. Oops, everything's called a tom now. So I put all the drum tracks into a drum bus, which I'll make it yellow. And then I take everything and I put it into a mix bus. And that'll be red. Or let's make it like white. Everything's in the mix bus. Drums they have groups, but they all get grouped under a drum bus. And then everything, you can see the white bar here. Everything is in a mix bus. On the mix bus, I'm going to put an API 2500 in stereo. Really low ratio. When I turn down the ratio, I get to bring the song through the compressor but not kill the sound. When I turn up the manual makeup a little bit, I feel like a little bit of body comes in, like the saturation from the radiators. Anyways, I didn't put anything on the drum bus. In my last video, I kind of put a louder, a one knob louder, which is so funny. You can hear the kicks starting to come through. But also I want to put a JST clip. This is kind of overkill, but here we are. I want to push my mixes a little bit. That's a lot of power. I want that clickiness. I need to turn that up. You can tell it's kind of quiet. You can hear the clicks now. I'm just going to turn them down slightly. Sounds great. This sounds great. Bass, last move for bass is I'm going to put a dynamic exciter, ozone exciter. I'm going to show you why. I can get the bass with an exciter. I can get the bass to sing in the car in a way where it's like you don't have to turn up the bass, but you turn up you add distortion to a certain frequency, and it seems to be this one. Check it out. So I like to put a little bit of the super low end, But let's not do that today. Let's just throw this in. I'll show you how it sounds. It sounds empty. It makes it sing, brings that distortion harmonics, that low end there. So I don't like to put too much, but enough to hear it in the car, because it fills up the bottom of the car. If your car has subwoofers, it sounds like there's bass underneath the track, which is amazing. This gives it a little bit of body, but it makes me want to put an HEQ after it. Right? If we're doing that, just cleaning it up a little bit at least. I never really touched this, but today I just want to turn that up. I feel it. If I'm turning up anything, I only turned it up by 2 decibels. It barely looks like an addition. Like it's barely lifting it, but it's enough to hear it. And there we go. There's our mix, 11:31. I wanted to do it in 5 minutes, but I started, it takes a second. It really does take a second. If you want to see me master this track, go to my free community. You can see me master this track for free. You don't need to log in. And you can send me your mixes on my platform. You can post your mixes and I will comment. I'll reply to your mixes. So send some stuff in. I'll see you in there, and I'll see you in the next speedrun. I'm signing out. Take care.